Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Happy to see you again. And this is Unite Inside. We help people unite with all the parts inside of them. In this video, I will be talking about a very important and crucial subject, which is how to trust yourself. Do you have a problem trusting yourself? This video is perfect for you then. But before we get into why you don't trust yourself, let me explain to you. Before we get into how to start trusting yourself, let me explain to you why you don't trust yourself. So you don't trust yourself. It's all back to your childhood. When you were a kid, you got traumatized. And you either had pretty controlling parents or very anxious parents, very fearful, very anxious, very very controlling, okay? Those two types of parents, for example, like the type that's very anxious, like very anxious parents tend to be very overprotective, okay? And the parents that are controlling also tend to be they try to control you, okay? And that's why you don't know how to trust yourself. Basically, those types of parents don't let you be yourself at all. They don't let you do anything. They don't trust you with yourself. So they constantly have to do stuff for you. They never trust that you can do it yourself. They never trust that you can do anything yourself. Even if it's things that has something to do with you. Like, for example, homework. They do your homework yourself. If there's something that you need to get done, they do it for you. And it's just like, they help you with everything in a way that enables you. In a way that makes you, that makes you incapable. That sends that message to your subconscious mind that you are incapable. This is the message that those parents sent to your subconscious mind, that you are incapable. Okay? These parents didn't support you. They stripped you of your ability to support yourself in any kind. Okay? I'm sure that most of their intentions were good, but I'm just saying that it was also dysfunctional because they were highly like anxious and fearful to the point that they just stopped you from everything. Did you have parents like this where you wanted to go on a trip or you wanted to try something that just seemed just a little bit risky to them, and they just immediately went to this like anxious spiral and they're like, no, don't do that, oh my god, it's scary, you're not gonna do it? Or they were trying to like, maybe they just wanted to protect you in a very like in a way that made you never be able to learn to be like able to trust yourself, to be able to rely on yourself in any way. They were people in your life that you just relied on them, and they made you rely on them too. Maybe you wanted to do some things by yourself, but they didn't let you. See, they didn't let you do those things. Or they did them with you in a way that made you feel like you can't do them, okay? Basically, in my experience, how I experienced this would be like, I would want to do something and my parents would be like, no, don't do this, or that this is wrong, this is the wrong way of doing it, do it this way, okay? They're also very perfectionist parents. Like, they're so afraid of making mistakes, so afraid of like hurting themselves, that they project that on you. They're afraid for you. They're like, oh my god, I'm afraid. I don't want my son or my daughter to make any mistakes, because mistakes mean hurt. Mistakes mean that they're failure. And so like they're trying to save you from making mistakes. And that's their mistake. Because by trying to help you, to save you from making mistakes, you never learned anything. You never learned how to rely on yourself. And therefore, you now don't trust yourself. Every time you want to do something, you have all these fears that they were projecting on you coming up. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm scared. I can't do this. Now, as an adult, this pattern definitely plays itself over and over. Now you're like, I can't travel with my friends. I can't take this trip. I can't do this by myself. I need this. I need that. I need other people to do this for me because I can't do it. I'm too scared to let myself do it. This literally can even be like, this can be shown in the slightest things. It could be, I can't cook this, or it could be, I can't watch this movie and I remember this. It could be like just like feeling this constant feeling of like fear of letting yourself do stuff because you're scared that you can't do them. Okay? So now that you understand the reason why you don't trust yourself, okay? Also with controlling parents, someone that wants to control you, they do this because they need you to need them. So basically they want you to be relying on them and only them so that you never leave them. These parents have abandonment issues, and so they project these, and it's evil, it's hurtful, it's painful for you to go through. And they're not really necessarily trying to be evil, but it is an evil pattern that hurts you. It hurts you in your life. Because of this pattern, you can't do shit because of this pattern. Literally, when this was playing in my life, this pattern, I couldn't do anything. I didn't want to do anything. I was scared. I couldn't go out by myself sometimes, or I couldn't like do anything. Like, even, it's so funny how like so small things that I would tell myself that I can't do. Like, for example, I would tell myself I can't explore this place. I'm gonna get lost. Or I can't go by myself to this like country, or like to this place or whatever, and I can't like explore it by myself because what if this happened, what if this happened, what if this happened, all this anxiety. Okay, it's all because you don't believe in yourself. And why? Because of one reason: you never got to practice developing your confidence, developing your self-trust and self-reliance. Okay, so I'm going to give you two steps if you want to trust yourself, if you want to trust yourself again. Okay, if you've been somebody that spent all their life not trusting themselves and not knowing what to do, fearful and all of that. Step one, the first step you're going to do is you have to become aware of the fact that you have a fear of failure. Okay, you have a fear of failure, and this fear stops you from doing anything, from taking any sort of action, from trusting yourself with anything. Because you always have this anxious thought. You might be a very anxious person. You might also be a very, not only are you very anxious, but you're also, it's almost like you're obsessed. You have these obsessive thoughts. You're obsessed with not going through pain, not going through anything that's, you're trying to protect yourself. You're obsessed with protecting yourself from any sort of discomfort. And so you keep yourself in your comfort zone, which kills you actually, because you never grow. Let me tell you, guess what? All people that are successful, they have successful businesses or successful lives in general, they made tons of mistakes. I promise you, you cannot win without making any mistakes. You can't win without making any mistakes. There's no way, because you're not learning. If you want to win, you have to learn. And if you want to learn, you have to make mistakes. This is how it works. And so you have to change the way you look at failure. Failure, if you fail, look at it as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to learn. Okay? Don't look at it as this final stroke that, oh my God, now I failed and I can't do better, and that's just what it means. The reason why you look at it like that is because you judge yourself before you don't give yourself a chance, and you judge yourself. A lot of times we're new to something. Let's say that it's driving, for example. Okay, we're new to something, but we put so many high expectations, unrealistic expectations on ourselves, that we have to know it now. Like, we have to figure it out. We have to be perfect in it. Like, we have to be perfect in what we're doing right now. No, you don't. Because you've never, guess what? You've never done it before. If you've never drove a day in your life, how do you expect yourself to just know how to do it? The thing is, that period of learning, that you're supposed to take to learn to do something to perfect it, you spend it judging yourself, and you have this fear of like, what if I will never get better? So this is the fear that you have. I'm exposing your thoughts right now. I'm exposing your fears and your deep like demons so that you become aware of them and why you do them, okay? So this is what you do. You have this fear of like, what if I'll never be good enough? Which is not true. You will get better. And if you have this, if you want to get rid of it, all you have to do is focus on your improvements instead of your mistakes. When you're learning to do something, take your focus and shove it on the fact that you did make a little bit of progress. And then tell yourself, this is proof that I can get better. This is proof that I will be good enough, that I am good enough, that I'm getting better, okay? You just have to change your mind and the way you look at things. Sometimes we look at things from a bad angle, from like, oh, this means we only look at our mistakes, okay? We're like, oh, there's this mistake. Don't do that. When you make a mistake, find a way to shift your focus from it and only focus on when you get better. Just focus on progress, okay? Like, so this is how you do it. You stop, instead of focusing on your mistakes, refocus on progress, on a little bit of progress that you just made, and then tell yourself, this is proof that I'm doing better every day, and let that motivate you, okay? Because when you focus on mistakes, that's where you get stuck. That's where you can't progress, because you're stuck. You're like, if you're stuck in a certain vibrational state, you tend to attract more of it. So the more you focus on mistakes, the more you attract more mistakes. And the more you get more stuck in that failure stage, the more you actually become a failure. Because you're like stuck and you think of mistakes, you attract more mistakes, and so yes, you're a failure. But if you're in that position, you have failed because you have put yourself in a very small box. But if you make a mistake and then you find a way to shift your focus from it, you don't really spend a lot of time there, and then you make a little bit of progress, and then you focus on that progress, and then you make another progress, you focus on it, you're gonna attract more progress, more progress, more progress, and then there's another cycle, and then there you are, you're getting better and you're winning. See, this is how you overcome your fear of failure, okay? So you have to know that you have this feeling of like, if I trust myself that this might lead to danger, or it might lead to hurt, that I might need to hurt, to you getting hurt, okay? Why? Why do you have this horrible thought about yourself that you will lead yourself to some danger? You know why? It's because you lack faith, self-faith. You lack self-belief. You don't believe in yourself. You don't think highly of yourself. You underestimate yourself. Why? Because your parents underestimated you. They didn't think you were capable of doing that, so they were very fearful, and they thought that they should protect you. So now you're doing that to yourself. What you're doing is you're never giving yourself a chance to show yourself that yes, you can do it, okay? You can do it. So this is what you're gonna do. Every time you wanna do something, but your mind is telling you, going back and forth between, what if something bad happens and I can't do it, or that I'm not capable of doing it? Ignore this, okay? Ignore this thought and just like take the first step to doing it. Make yourself do it. Take the first step. If you never risk anything, you really need courage if you want to learn to regain your self-trust. If you never take any risks and you keep yourself in your box and you never try to give yourself a chance to prove yourself wrong, to prove your negative thoughts wrong, that you can do it. If you never do that, then you're never gonna know if you can trust yourself, okay? What I need you to do is to make like a very disciplined plan, okay? If you really are serious about regaining the trust, your self-trust, okay? If you want to do this, I need you to make a plan of a very disciplined plan where you follow this, okay? Of like, you are going to test your own ability, okay? You're going to, while you're thinking of highly of yourself at the same time. So you give yourself the benefit of the doubt. This is how you do it. Let's say that you can start with something small that you feel like you can't do, like a dance or whatever, something like a movement, a dance. I don't know. It could be a dance or it could be just anything, and then tell yourself, just take the first step to doing it. And I know that it's going to be scary, and that's why I said you need courage. You need courage because I know that it will be scary. It will be very scary, but you need to, first of all, you need to just make yourself do it. Make yourself get into it and keep going. Keep trying to work it out. Keep by yourself, okay? And while, even though you have those thoughts going on of like, I can't do it, tell yourself, yes, I can do it. Yes, this is not that hard. This is easy. Yes, people did it before, I can do it too. Keep reinforming that. Keep making this as an affirmation while you're doing that thing. This is what I did to myself, okay? While you're doing it, and then keep going. And let me tell you this, you might make a mistake, okay? While you're doing something, you might make a mistake. So you might get so triggered when you make a mistake, but even if you make a mistake, don't stop. Keep going. This needs to be disciplined. Keep going and keep telling yourself, this mistake, I'm gonna learn from it, and it does not mean that I can't do it. This isn't proof that I can't do it. I can still do it regardless of the mistake. It's all about changing your thoughts. It's all about breaking free from very negative thought patterns that you had of I can't do it, blah, 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 to reinforcing good thoughts of yes, I can do it. And failure, if I fail or if I make a mistake, it doesn't mean that I'm a failure or that I can't do it, okay? So maybe let's say that you want to go out, but you're scared. Like go to a specific place by yourself. You're scared. You can tell yourself, yes, I can do it. I can go to that place. Even go scared. Literally, just go, just get up. And this is why this needs discipline. Just make yourself do it. The more you make yourself do the little things that you're scared of, you can make it bigger. Like for example, you can start setting bigger goals of this. Like for example, you can say, oh, I can travel alone. For example, if you're scared of doing that, and then just make yourself. But it's gonna be hard to make yourself do something really big and to take that kind of risk if you haven't like been exercising that muscle of like doing stuff regardless of how afraid you feel. Doing it regardless of how afraid you feel. This is what courage really is. It's not that you don't have any fear, but it's that you act regardless of the fear. Okay, good. So the last step that you're going to take that will very much help you is that you need to be in alignment, okay? Whenever you try to take action or do anything, if you wanna, the thing is you're out of alignment because you don't trust yourself and you're almost like following you're almost like in a pattern of trying to avoid hurting yourself. And when you're trying to avoid hurting yourself, you're gonna take more action and you're gonna do unnecessary steps. You're gonna take unnecessary steps because you don't have to do that. You don't even have to. You're trying to avoid a lot of things. That's the thing. And that's why it's so hard to do anything with this fear that you have. Okay? It's hard you actually make it hard. That's why it's hard for you to do something. Okay? That's the thing. Like, when you have something that you want to do that you don't trust yourself with, you have all these fears. And all these fears, now you're going to try to avoid them while you're doing that thing. But whereas if you were just like in alignment with yourself, you wouldn't need to avoid all these things. You wouldn't need to do unnecessary things to avoid all these things. You will just ignore them and do the thing, if you know what I mean. You will just ignore that. Like, let me give you an example from my own experience. Basically, I used to be very fearful of so many things because I would fear judgment, and then I would fear that people will judge me. And I would be like, let me avoid this judgment. So I would, instead of just doing what I need to do, like for example, just talking to people normally, or just making myself do something that I need to do, I would instead of doing that, I would create unnecessary steps. Oh, I need to put tons of makeup on my face so that other people don't judge me. Oh, I need to figure this out. The thing is, it's so hard. The reason why it's so hard for you is because you have all these fears that you're trying to avoid. Okay, so I hope that you understand this tip. So being in flow with yourself, you can trust the universe too. So the universe can work with you. It can help you. It can give you guidance. It can tell you what to do. It can tell you what's the perfect thing to do. But you lack faith in yourself, and so you also lack faith in the universe. So if you just learn to surrender to the universe and to trust your intuition, that the universe will never lead you to something that will hurt you. And even if you did experience pain, it doesn't mean that this is a bad thing that will make your life horrible. It just means that it's a learning experience. This is all about changing how you look at the world and your perspective, and that the world is not against you. People that tend to distrust themselves, they don't trust the world. That's why they don't trust themselves. It's because they don't trust that the world is good and that they will get what they want and that it's going to be a good experience for them. So it's good to be positive. You have trapped yourself in a very negative cycle. So like if you just switch it to seeing things positively, like I'm gonna have a good experience, I'm gonna learn. If I make a mistake, I'm gonna learn from it. Being playful, not being very serious, you know. People that then tend to distrust themselves, they live in a very anxious and fearful world because they think that everything is serious and that life is bad and that we're in some like dangerous war and that we have to protect ourselves against the world. You can just flow through life. You don't really have to be always holding you can take some risks, you know. You can let yourself get some dirt on you sometimes. You can do that. It's okay. We came here for that. We did not come here to be protected. We did not come here to protect ourselves from life. Let yourself merge with life and get messy with life and just like play with life. And this is how you live a good life. This is why you're bored with your life, because you never do anything new. You never get out of your comfort zone. Of course you're fucking bored. You're very bored. Your life is so boring because you never do anything new. But this adventurous life that we're living is adventurous. You have to take that chance. You came here to take that chance. You came here to become that powerful person that like lets themselves go through the waves of life and just merges with life. Okay, so I hope that this video helps you, and I will be making more videos that cover up the same subject or subjects that are similar to this. I love you, and if you like it, you can definitely comment and let me know your thoughts. I will see you in the next video. Mwah.